Well, thank you for joining me. I love to start like I'm a school teacher, and so I would love it if you could tell everyone your name, your pronouns, what role you're playing, and anything else you want to disclose.
Cool. Well, my name is Luis Antonio Martinez Bratoeff, but everyone calls me Tony or Antonio Bratoeff. That's my artistic name. I'm 24 years old. My pronouns are he, him. And well, I'm grateful for being part of this production. I'm one of the founding members of Queer Colors Theater. So I'm very excited because this is our first original, completely original play. And it's written by Shawn White, who is someone who I hold very close to my heart. He's a very dear friend of mine. And I'm very excited to show everyone what we've been working on.
That's awesome. Yay. Ooh. Um, so tell me a little more about why you guys wanted to produce Oliver and Isaac with the company.
I believe it is a story that rings close to home. I think most of the things that happen in this play are very relatable to a certain degree, I believe. But the actors who are in it, I believe that they actually were able to understand the motives of each of the characters and why the story unfolds in a certain way. I believe this is something that I haven't fully discussed with Shawn, but I think some of the scenes are things that actually happened to him
Mm.
during in school when he was in New York, but I'm not sure. So that's not full disclosure, but
No, but real life experience can often inspire what we want to write or put on stage. I definitely, in my work, have the same. I'm like, oh, that happened to me, or like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
And that's great. I think that's why it's such a great show, why it has so much potential, because they're not just words, they're real people.
yeah,
And the feelings and ideas are very well grounded. And that's what I love from this play. I play Patrick, who is, I believe,
yeah.
the only straight male in the play. and and it's also very interesting to see how this character interacts with the other characters and vice versa, what they say about Patrick, what he says about the other characters. And it's been very eye-opening. I think I can see myself in Patrick for when I was younger. I'm not
Yeah,
that kind of man anymore, but yeah, it's very interesting.
that's good. It's like good to be able to draw on like, oh, like I used to maybe like I had some of these thoughts and like now it's a way to kind of cycle through your thoughts, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, to know that you've grown, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point in theater, I feel like, is to make work and feel like you're growing while you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Can you describe your character in 3 words?
Immature,
Ooh.
immature, and immature. Nah,
Immature, immature, immature. I'm just kidding.
um, I guess, well, yes, immature would be one. Easygoing. I know, well, open-minded, I think. Open-minded would be the
Mm,
second one. And the last one would be scared. I think he's a very scared character. Even though he
mm.
doesn't show it, I'm sure that there are a lot of parts in the play where, even though he doesn't say it, he's scared for what's going to happen.
Oh, I'm really excited to watch the play now. Um, what has been your favorite scene, kind of going off of that? What's been your favorite scene to work on without too many spoilers?
There's a scene in Act 3 where things hit the fan. It's near the end,
Oh.
and Chris Scats has done a wonderful job with Isaac. He's a wonderful actor. I've already had the opportunity to work with him before, um, on a play called Straight, but wow, he just blew my mind in that scene. He nailed it, and I love that scene because it's so strong and it's so human and emotional, and he achieved it in a way that my hats off to Chris.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh, I just every time I do an interview, I just keep getting more excited to see the show because I kind of came in and I was like, I'm gonna interview the cast, but every I talk to you all and I'm like, oh my God, okay, very excited. um, so speaking more about rehearsals and stuff, where were you at the beginning of the rehearsal process compared to where you are now?
In the beginning, I believe I was in the mindset of it's another straight character. I just have to be myself, and I just got to use my experience to give life to this character. And the more I read it, and the more I rehearsed the lines, I realized that no, it's the complete opposite. He might be a straight guy, but he's not like me. Even though I might have had that similar train of thought, no train of thought is the same, right?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to start understanding why he says certain things and why he does certain things. But most importantly, I think I learned a lot from myself. You know, I was
Mm.
able to see myself in this, like in this 3D way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. I actually feel that this character has made me more mature and more open-minded.
That again is so awesome to hear. Wow. Um, yeah, that's cool. So I guess in your opinion, um, what is the most prominent, uh, I guess, issues that the LGBTQ plus community might be facing now in the US?
Well, there's a lot of problems happening right now. Unfortunately, I think there's a long way to go.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you what exactly is a problem that comes to mind because I'm an ally, but I have really haven't faced the problems firsthand as my other co-stars have.
right.
But I am willing to start a change to make other people realize that they're people as well, that they have rights and that they have families and friends and lives. And at least I feel that nowadays people are beginning to finally accept these communities, but there's still a long way to go. And not only in the US, here in Mexico as well. I'm Mexican, by the way. And over here in Mexico, yes, I can tell you from what I've seen that people just feel like I just hate when people tell me, are you normal or are you gay? You know, I always hated that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
still a thing nowadays. Even here in Mexico, where we're becoming a bit more progressive, I don't know. And there's a lot of people who don't respect the pronouns, you know, and
yeah.
that's also it's small details that begin to bother me because I know that those small details can turn into something really big, like violence, right?
Yeah. That no, that I'm ruminating on that and yeah, I think that's important. And especially hearing it from like an ally's perspective, like those small details can turn into violence feels really important to me as a member of the community because I'm like, oh, it's just another reminder, like why I sometimes don't feel safe where I'm at.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and yeah, that wow. Okay. I guess going on that, as an ally, what do you hope to do with Queer Colors Theater as it moves forward?
Well, I hope that people from the community feel well. They can see Queer Colors Theater and say, "Ah, wow, there's a space where I can express myself, where I can be heard. You know, not only tell our stories, but tell their stories as well. You know, being romance or horror, because I know there's a lot of horror stories over there. Um, but for people from the community to feel that they have a space where they can be heard and they can truly be themselves no matter the character or their pronouns or how they look like or whatever. You know, I truly that was the main idea behind Queer Colors Theater from the beginning, to give the community a space where they can express anything and everything. And so I hope
Absolutely.
that's what happens, not only in the United States, but over here in Mexico as well.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I think there's a lot of room to tell stories that are not just always like American centered. I think it would
Yeah.
be good to see queer stories from other places as well. Ooh, okay. I guess as a final question, you sort of already answered it, but what does queer theater look like to you? Since you're kind of coming at it from a different perspective, so I'm curious, like in general, what does it look like to you?
Well, I'm not sure that I have thought on that. To me, theater has always been about the people. You know, it's not a set thing. It's not like, this is theater. It has to be A, B, and C.
Hmm.
Theater is just about whoever stands on stage and decides to tell this story, whether it's a personal one or somebody else's story. As long as it connects with the human aspect of things, that's what turns it into art and hence theater.
Oh, you're hitting me with all the answers today, Antonio. I feel like I had like a little bit of inspiration there. Do you do you have any final words before we finish up today?
Well, I hope that everyone who watches Oliver and Isaac has a wonderful time, that they really enjoy the play. We've really worked hard on this play, and well, I hope you can share it with your friends and that you have a great time watching it.
Woo, I love it. And the poster is right behind Antonio and
Alrighty.
it's gorgeous. I mean, we have to watch it now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a really good time talking with you.
Thank you, Alyssa, for everything.
Yeah.
Have a fun time.
Yeah.